As of May 1st, 2020, the verywellfamily.com website states that there are approximately 13.6 million single parents in the U.S. today, and those parents are responsible for raising 22.4 million children. This number represents approximately 27% of children under 21 today. This affects children in the United States. In fact, this may be the case for the students listening to this speech right now. It is so important to know how one may be affected by a single parent versus married parents. Will this affect your school life, home life, and behaviors? Will this have a positive or negative impact on the child's life? These are questions that I wanted to find out. I've decided to do this study because I have many friends who grew up with a single parent. Being raised by a single parent can have both positive and negative impacts on a child, including school life, home life, and developmental behaviors. In my research, I have found both positive and negative impacts of a child with a single parent in school, at home, and in their behavior overall. There has been many research studies on children in the school setting with single parents versus married parents. Anne Malign and her team did a study in July of 1986 in an issue of single parents, working mothers, and the educational achievement of school children, and she found that results show that mothers' employment and living in a one-parent family can have negative impacts on school achievement. But these effects differ by age, race, and family structure. This study shows that two-parent families have a higher score on math and language arts tests than single-parent families do. Now, children from single-parent families are more likely to receive help from their parents on their homework. And this does make sense because if the child is struggling more, the parents are more likely to help them. Also, in another study conducted by Frank Brown in April of 1980, issue of A Study of the School Needs of Children from One-Parent Families, states that students living with one parent move from school to school more frequently, they're more likely to be tardy, and they create more discipline problems overall. This study found that tardiness was at a 39% for children in one-parent families. Also, suspension cases were at 40% for children with single-parent families. Not only are children's statistics from single-parent families affected at school, they are also affected at home. There are positive impacts for children with single parents at home. Single parents spend just as much family time with their children as married parents do, and children in single-parent families perceive their mothers and fathers more friendly than children in married parent families. Lyndia Amison and Reed Larson led a study in November of 1991, the issue of the quality of family time among young adolescents in single-parent and married parent families. They found that when children in single-parent families are with their mothers, they are more likely to be engaged in instrumental tasks. When they're with their fathers, they are more likely to be engaged in discretionary activities. Now, what does this mean? Instrumental tasks are things that you will need to know in everyday life, such as laundry and cooking. Discretionary activities is doing something because it's that person's choice, such as leisure activities. With that being said, married parents are often competing for their child's attention. Thus, the child doesn't see their parents as friendlier in this situation. Certainly, the most important part is the child's behavior overall. Can a child be just as successful whether they have one parent or two? Dominic Schmuck from Brigham Young University reveals in his Modern Psychological Studies during 2013 that other researchers such as Holden and Hilton found that children of single-parent homes show more internalized behavior problems, such as anxiety, depression, inhibition, and withdrawal, than children raised in functioning dual-parent homes. However, they did not score differently on self-esteem. The teenagers that come from single parent families tend to be more adventurous, enterprising, and sociable. Single parent children seem to have more friends that seem to rely on their friends' advice more. And since the parent is normally working, it makes sense that these child will form more friendship and value these friendships overall. Behavior is something a person will have for the rest of their lives. This is important to start good behaviors early on in children. All in all, we have gone over all the similarities and differences of children at school, at home, and their behavior in general in single parent families versus married. We found that being raised by a single parent versus married parents does have an impact on a child, including school life, home life, and developmental factors. Think about the family that you were born to. Did you find similarities with yourself and the findings of these researchers? Do you think this is bad on an impact in your life? I hope this speech gave you some answers. Thank you.